boys, bitch, you better bow down. Crowd just wanna hear the show, start the countdown. Don't be messing around, we ain't chasing no clout. Better shut your ass up before we put your ass down. Might get lumped up, taking verbal bumps, chump. We don't ever bite tongues, always keeping it a buck. Dan, Joe, and Will, they gon' change the game. Bump Boys podcast, it'll melt your brain. Y'all don't wanna see the flame, so don't spark the match. We like rookie Kurt Angle, make your ankle snap. Three amigos like Eddie, but don't lie or steal. Only cheat when we gotta, but to win we will. Mike skills like Dusty, but go hard like Brock. I'm a stunner like Austin, dropping elbows like Mach. Y'all don't wanna see the finish, cause it's us on top. 1, 2, 3, get the V and get a warrior pop. Yo!
What is up, guys? It is your boy Wilbur here from the Bump Boys. Well, here for the Bump Boys, part of the Bump Boys, aka it's your boy King William, and we're going to be talking, does AEW have a budget issue? Is AEW going broke? Is AEW losing money? And can AEW afford to keep it going and compete with WWE? There's been a lot of talks, Twitter, Dave Meltzer, Fightforce. There's been a lot of talks about the whole Cody Rhodes situation. Now, of course, we do know that one of the main reasons why Cody left AEW was because of a, let's say, a contract concern. Obviously, Cody Rhodes was supposed to sign a new contract, and what he was asking for was close to Chris Jericho, Le Champion Moolah. He wanted the big bucks. He wanted the big green backs. He wanted to get paid like a superstar. But Tony Khan did not feel like he was worth it. Now, a lot of people read into that and said, wait, if Cody is one of the founders, his run in TNA was so prominent to where he became a superstar, close to a mega star. Why won't you shell out the check and pay the man? Why won't you pay Cody the money unless you can't afford to, unless you have a budget concern? Now, one of the big things that I always will tell people is if you compare AEW, let's say to WCW, they didn't give a fuck. They had some of the craziest contracts of all time. Literally, wrestlers would have contracts where if you pay me this amount of dollars and then someone gets signed and gets paid more than me, my contract will match the most paying contract. And you can't have that. There's a reason why in baseball there's a budget. Hell, there's a reason why there's a luxury tax in basketball and stuff like that. So people don't go over a certain budget. And it's very interesting to see how everyone in the wrestling community, they see WWE, this billion-dollar company who can shell out the money, who can pay for a lot of things. And when it even comes to like the Saudi events, Saudi Arabia as a country pays for most of that and pays the wrestlers. And WWE doesn't really pay much. They just get their fighters there. Sorry, I said fighters like it's UFC. They get their wrestlers there, and the Saudis take care of them from that standpoint. It's definitely less of an expense when they go over to Saudi for the standpoint of Saudi is shelling out a lot of money, of course, to have the WWE there. But to AEW, Tony Khan is a businessman. Once again, he owns a football team, so he understands taxes. He understands the budget aspect of, owning a company that relies on physical competition and contracts and stuff like that. So when it comes to a budget, AEW is definitely working within a budget compared to WCW. WCW was like, all right, let's take all these former superstars who are not washed up or just getting to the point of being washed up, and let's pay them top dollars, and we'll just get a bunch of lower end mid-tier guys and not really build them. Tony Khan, once again, he's new to the business. He's new to the wrestling business. He's been a fan, but he's new to the wrestling business aspect to where he's understanding, hey, Cody, I can't pay you X amount of dollars. Those X amount of dollars that I already have a ton of high-end superstars who can, fill in for that main event spot. Now, does it suck that we may lose you? Yes, and do I feel that you may not be the star that Kenny will be or be a big draw as like the Young Bucks or Chris Jericho? It sucks that he feels that way, but that's just how business works. That's just how opinions work from that standpoint. So what AEW was doing is, okay, we can sign, for example, these stars that were released by WWE, because where else are they going to go? Of course, there's Ring of Honor. Of course, you go to TNA, MLW, Major League Wrestling, but they're not going to be paying as much as even what AEW could pay as what we call a mid-tier paycheck. So Tony Khan, as a businessman, says it's just like football. It's like, hey, all right, so if that team cuts you, meaning you don't have the income coming in from that team, from that company, I don't need to pay you top star dollars. I can pay you a lower to mid-tier contract, and then through storybook telling, through building the brand, I can then build you up to this mega star. It's just like, it's very simple if you think of like how baseball works. And if you compare it to like the way WWE was working with like NXT as the farm league, Raw, SmackDown as the major leagues, and the way it works is, okay, we had these mid-tier guys that we're going to then build up into stars. When those stars then ask for money, we can either pay them or not. That's kind of what happened with Cody. They decided, we're not going to pay you. We'll sign guys like Buddy Matthews, aka Buddy Murphy. We'll sign Keith Lee. Keith Lee can sign to a nice mid-tier contract. He'll be happy in a situation, and then we can build him into a big star, and he'll still have star power. So what AEW did was they worked within a budget. They did what almost every company does. The best way to explain it is, look at how baseball works. When you have a star that comes up, he gets paid little. He comes up to the top. He wants the high dollars. You can either keep him or you can get rid of him. Look at, once again, not to go off topic, but it's to compare it. Look at what Red Sox did with Mookie Betts. Started off as a small time contract. Once he became a star, he wanted the top dollars. Red Sox didn't want to pay him that money, and people were like, "Why?" They were just like, "We can't. We could take that money and divvy up to other players. Let's ship him out." That's what they did. They had boom. They shipped him out, and then look what they did. So it was nice to see the whole, I'll say, interaction of what happened and how everything basically unfolded. It was beautiful. It was nice. But it was very interesting to see how everything kind of fell into place and then how everything played out. Now, so the biggest thing we need to understand is, once again, AEW doesn't have a budget concern. They have a budget that they need to work within. And they also need to make sure that, of course, there's certain levels to their contracts. A lot of people were talking with AEW being equal pay between women and male wrestlers. Now, that's a whole nother topic, but just my quick note on it. It's all about draws, just like, who brings in, when we have a women's match or a male's match, what are the ratings looking like? So there's a ton of, stats and data that you have to look into that. But when it comes to AEW is being smart. Tony Khan is a businessman. He runs a sports team, so he knows the ins and out of not paying guys more money than what he feels that they're worth. He does with it all the time. Guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Does AEW have a budget concern? Do you think AEW is going broke? Are they on the same path as WCW? Put in the comment section down below. It's been your boy Will. IG, Mr_Wilbers95, aka King William. It's been your boy Will, from the Bump Boys. Peace out.
Must bid you adieu, a goodbye, mwah, and good night. Oh my God, it's so great. Bang!